Yeah, I mean, I worked with 2/3 of those people, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I guess I stayed in the tournament longer than either of them.
All right.
A rip.
Back to this interesting draft session, though. We have
Dire
the
team
Phoenix,
pick.
and Phoenix counters are up. Snapfire is one of them. Lina is out. There was the Mirana, which I was also kind of thinking for Spider picks. But Snapfire, I think Snapfire in general just provides a little bit more than the Mirana does, considering this draft. You don't get that much out of the Moonlight Shadow, in my opinion.
Only 10 seconds.
Not necessarily, no. I mean, I do know that DNZ
5
is a
seconds
terrific
remain.
Mirana, so I wouldn't have been surprised to see that either. In this case, the Snapfire, though, with the minus armor, is going to provide a whole lot of extra punching power for whichever physical damage core they're going to pick up next. There's, of course, always the possibility of the Faceless Void. I know that Koma is not averse to picking that one up either, but he also really likes himself a Wraith King, for example,
Radiant team pick.
which is also insane damage combined with Sapphire. CK
Interesting.
for Bald.
I kind of like this CK because there's the Treant Protector already on the field. You've got Overgrowth, but CK also with his ulti cancels it. Plus, the Aghanims also provided on his team, so they get a lot of extra mobility to fight up against. Plus, you have a spell which kind of prevents you from buying an item, which is usually Manta, to get rid of the Treant ulti. He's great at killing Snap. He's great at killing, well, the Treant, for instance. But also the Viper. A great hero to stand up and fight against him. However, with this next pick kicking in, I'm not feeling too confident after all.
Only 10 seconds.
Now they have... Spider Pigs have 2 unanswered picks here already. So the
5
Treant Protector
seconds.
for the map
Hurry,
play,
hurry.
and now the carry matchup for the Terrorblade. I don't think they can afford for this to be a carry CK over on Bald. I think they're going to have to side lane this, or the hell mid. No, actually, no, not mid. You can't lane that versus the Viper. That's not gonna happen. So if they leave this Terrorblade uncountered, no matter if they
Radiance
punch through the
banned.
Treant Protector eventually, and it's going to take him time, then they still have that carry matchup to deal with, and I am very afraid for their chances here.
Also a bit worried about the probability here for this draft to eventually work out against the TB. That the TB is still a big threat that it needs to be answered with some pick. Love the Zeus ban. Direct counter for the Terrorblade. Darkseer is also another one that makes his life a lot harder. It would have fit Team Bald's draft pretty nicely too, with the Pango and the Hoodwink. Combining spells, AoE stuns in this case.
5 seconds remain.
And of course the TB illusion that can hit pretty hard too. However, what do Team Bald really need now? Because counters are being banned.
They are. I like the biggest counters left for the TB are either a Drow or an Arc Warden. I'd lean more towards an Arc Warden split pushing game in this case to slowly keep that Treant busy.
Out of those two, it's the only one in the pool.
Team are now picking.
Oh yeah, Drow's already banned as well.
Yeah, the Drow was banned pretty early in, but still, yeah, I get like the idea of a Drow-like hero. There's not exactly the same type of hero that works out with the ultimate, bypassing armor.
I think your only other option here is DP, and it feels so bad to pick a DP this late in the draft, but the Silence does a lot of work versus Terrorblade. You're going to get to actually play tempo up versus this Treant Protector, which is pretty hard to kill by what Spider Pigz is on the board right now. And it would solidify your team fight as well, but... and they go Morphling.
The Dota.
Is that a Gorp Morphling or an Excalibur? Excalibur Morphling, alright. So, tiny bit of a difference here. Pretty nasty with the Void Spirit out there because of the silence. But in the end, I feel like this Morphling is, out of the available heroes that's in the pool, probably the best option they could have gone for. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's somewhere in between. So,
like, certainly, if you manage to go into the TB form, you're going to be able to deal some massive damage as the Morphling. But you're not a straight-up counter for the man fight. You just get to do to his team what he does to yours.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't really know which direction to lean in here, Kips.
I think Gork is going to have a hard lane versus Funnick. I don't see how they're going to get through this LeBron Dota Treant Protector at all. They're going to have to die for him. I think that's very risky into a Void Spirit who's going to come TPing in, for a Viper who's going to come TPing in. I don't see a way for them to get the space on the map that this Morphling is going to need to stay even with the Terrorblade. So I'm very much leaning towards Spider Pigs here again.
I'm kind of feeling the same. I'm trying to search my soul. Do I have any Gorp energy inside of me? But it's difficult to look at this, like to assess the situation. It's not looking too great for them. Their draft is okay. Their draft is okay, but the laning stage again is going to be very, very hard, and it needs to work out. Otherwise, we might have to say goodbye to Team Bold Reborn out of this TI qualifier. However, Spider Pigs already took one map away from Team Liquid. Looking good, looking healthy. Doesn't look like yesterday was an upset at all. They came in heavy into game number 1. They want to keep that up as well here. Maybe a tiny bit of how would I say, four-man fighting, 4 protect 1 in a sense, get the TB up and then play through there. Or do we see, remember the TB we saw, was it earlier on today or yesterday, with blink daggers and just going absolute ham, not giving like a single hoot, just not caring about the opponent at all, just going in, doing whatever they wanted.
Yep, that was beautiful positional play. I think in this game as well, the Terrorblade doesn't really have anything to fear apart from getting perma-stunned. There is a possibility for the Morphling to nuke him down through the last percentages of health remaining as well, but those are very conditional. This is looking like a great TV game, and he's also going to keep, with his illusions, keep a lot of tabs on Team Bald, keep scouting in their jungles, keep pushing out their waves. They don't have that much wave push, and I think ideally you'd want heroes like the Hoodwink and the Pango to remain hidden instead of showing on the waves to push them out, because yeah, your threat's gone. You do so low.
Great opportunity. First blood. And it's for Pile Die. The man who loved to rack up maybe a couple deaths last game, he gets the honors of getting the first kill of the game. He must be feeling great.
Canada is an expert at dying for value, though. He
Good
gets
point,
a lot of
good
shit
point.
for that. But you're an Abaddon. What are you gonna do in that game except for sell your hide for as much as possible?
Yeah, I think Pile Die is one of those guys who will get the honors of dying and really be fine with it. However,
Already
first
some,
blood scored, and can they contest this bounty run in the river? They really want to brawl for it. And Gorp, where are you coming from? Oh my goodness, this guy has really got big balls of steel as he comes in between Spider Pigs, but he dies for it. I was not expecting the man to show up from behind them. Did he run from the tier 1 and tier 2 towers, or did he just run up the cliff?
He's just been sitting there since...
Yeah, it's like bit of a surprise there, like, hello.
Yeah.
CK drive by.
I thought I could, you know, casually pick up this rune here. You see, this is what I mean when I say I don't think they're breaking keywords over each other's heads right now.
Yeah.
Consider an alternative.
They're taking it easy, seeing what they can get away with. Well, not that.
Yep, sometimes you gotta find a replacement keyboard or, you know, plug the USB back in. However, they do have a catch on DNZ, bit of damage coming in. Protective roots there from LeBron. We do have
a rare start here. Tri-lane versus tri-lane.
Yep, was just about to bring that up. Who does this favor?
Honestly, very hard to say. Both of the supports over on the side would really like more experience than this lane is going to afford them. But ultimately, this is for the protection of Gork, who is otherwise going to get very far behind immediately on the first levels of Funnick. Here, with the CK, they have kill threat. Ideally, if you're the Dire, you get 1 or 2 kills on onto Funnick here, maybe on LeBron.
They do
You see,
dismantle.
that's why they're also staying.
No. Dismantling the lane. DNZ TP's bots.
Pango was getting a little bit too much out of that. Rajit's already level 2. Didn't even take the swashbuckle, but he doesn't need to like this.
Looking okay. Nice use of the cookie there. Since he does not have that swashbuckle, he's Gonna have to soak
Radiant's
up a couple
bottom
extra
tower
hits.
under
He's
fire.
gonna meet up with his courier. Does he walk all the way back home? No, he does stay. Pops the salve, returns back to lane. Gonna have a wave almost pushing in. DMZ blocking it pretty nicely here. Lane equilibrium in Koma's favor.
Yeah, for now, but he's going to deal too much damage here. He will push. And then Rajix is going to get some more.
On the Viper, potential kill with the pushback from Pablo. Damn it.
Attacked.
Very necessary. One more kill like that, and I think Gork can lane on top.
Yep. Reality Rift applying minus armor. Blightstone applying minus armor. CK with 72 right-click damage. Viper with only 2 armor.
Viper's not actually that tanky. Most of the problem with going on a Viper is the damage that you take while going in.
Yeah,
Right now, that's not really a lot.
It's sometimes an awkward trade for sure. Thinking that we can kill this guy, but how healthy are we coming out of this trade? Pablo, Phonic. Pablo in big trouble. 5 stacks of poison. He's gonna try and TP home. He should be able to. But that means
And
that
not
there's
even
no
home.
hoodwink for a while.
No, she went to top. She has a salve.
Oh, she went top. Okay, never mind. So there is a self.
No way that Pablo is going to give it up that easily. They need 3 heroes on this top lane. You can just TP to that tower, get off scot-free. And Phonic, is this a lane swap? No, this is jungling. Very surprised right now. I guess he's trying to make the most out of the fact that right now he wasn't going to get a creep wave anyway. He's pretty out of position to return there. LeBron is...
My path
I
leads
think
to
what's happening here is he's recognizing his vulnerability to stay in this top lane because of all this minus armor and the lack of movement speed. Because all of these heroes here in this top lane for Team Bold are just simply faster than the Viper is. Viper's at 275 movement speed. You overcommit once halfway into the lane, not even necessarily halfway into the lane. You're gonna get caught by 1 stun into a second, which is usually either the Chaos Bolt or the Bushwhack, and then you have all this minus armor and right-click ticking on you. Plus, you have the slow from Icarus dive. It's just no coming back.
I absolutely agree. Versus that tri-lane, he's a sitting duck.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that he'd probably wait until the second death, but you know what? Now that he's doing this, he's wasted some time of Pablo's there waiting for this Viper to make his return to the top lane. It's not happening. They're just spending 3 heroes to hunt down a Treant now. And yeah, that means that Pilot Eye has moved on to the bottom lane right now. So a little bit of space bought, but not that much.
It opens up the lane now, at least for CK to catch up in experience, which was much needed.
Oh, and Phonic has immediately returned. You
Radiant's
see the
bottom
Phoenix bot. It's
tower
like, ah,
under
okay,
fire.
fine.
Yeah,
Hello.
the big threat is now gone. Well, not the big threat, but one piece of it is now gone, so he's able to come back. Or TP is back under the tower, but that poison attack is going to drop him all the way low.
You want 5 stacks? You can have 5 stacks. Clever play.
But
And yeah,
that's
Phonic didn't really lose that much from that. Viper,
No.
with the Nethertoxin, jungle's pretty fast.
still feels like the old Nether Toxin, which was just ridiculously strong.
The farming speed on that was too ridiculous. I'm glad they got rid of that.
Nice stun there from DNZ in the bot lane. Pylai die. DNZ might die instead, though. Project's going aggressively, and Pylai die lives with 28 HP. Snapfire lives with 20 HP. Gets Koma's courier. No swashbuckle.
Gains the
On
strength of
15.
100
2 hits
couriers
from
and
Koma.
wins the game.
1, 2, 3.
Tick.
Gets it. The stick saves the second, but it's not enough for a third. Pylai die. Denies the regen from Noob, but he's gonna die for it.
This land ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
That
Snap
was
away.
Radiant
both of them
structures
trying to
are
get the
fortified.
most out of their last hit point. DNZ coming out
Yep.
ahead.
One hero we haven't looked at all this game. We have the Excalibur Morphling. Of course, the mid lane matchup where we've been really busy with those side lanes. They're the ones with the most action here. But 38 last hits on the Void Spirit. Excalibur taking a bit of damage here from the Dissimulate. Right now hasn't revealed anything special yet. Power treads into a magic wand. Do we see a SNY Morphling this game? Do we see something else, Kips?
I think the mat style is pretty necessary versus the Aghanim Scepter that's eventually going to come out from Noob.
A bauble from the void.
So he might as well pick up a Yasha pretty fast, then he can decide if he wants to finish it up later. Go for an E-Blade in between, perhaps, which is a rare build, but you do see it sometimes, Yasha into E-Blade. Or alternatively, just Manta style first. Secure your game, make sure that you can actually play up without having to fear death coming from a corner. Yep, he's queued up right now.
Yep, Manta style it is. Meanwhile on the board, looking at the CS department, pretty even so far. Pango, the one following behind a little bit with 28 CS. Not having the worst lane though, had a lot of solo XP, is level 6. Potential for a rotation. Wow, Noob gets to snipe Excalibur's courier, and he's playing pretty aggressive here in this mid wave. Cuts a wave down. He's got the Morphling still chasing him up all the way. He's gonna let him go now.
There's nothing the Morphling can do to him.
Yep. He can observe. That's about it. Gorp, though. Looks like he's okay. Pile die, however, he's got something on his mind. He wants to turn around. Bushwhack nicely onto Viper, getting healed up by LeBron. LeBron still in between, body blocking Pile die a little bit, but he doesn't have the attack speed to attack anything. But Noob comes in, and he secures a double kill. Tiny bit too optimistic from Team Bold here. And Excalibur, he also wanted to join in on the fun, but he TPs to the bot lane. Sunder has been used, going straight onto the TB. This could be a big kill. Excalibur needs to get this kill happening. 300 HP, still 300 to go. 200, that might just be it. It is. Excalibur secures the kill. And this one might just be a bit bigger.
Did you fall out of the nest as a
If they're
baby?
going to chase her under the tower, no, not this time. It is like what happened on top lane was exactly what I was talking about. You dive versus a Void Spirit, you're going to get punished. And you know, this is a Treant Protector. The tower is going to be healthy. They're going to be tempted to dive quite often. But the reaction from Excalibur, immediately noting that there's a much better opportunity for him on bot instead of reading the situation on top wrong. Very good, very fast play. And now he's in position to actually help dive LeBron, who's going to try and do the Treant thing on bottom, but he's pretty under-leveled after how hard top lane was.
Yep, now they're diving into the tower. Treant should be able to disengage
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
the safety of the trees. So they're gonna have to wait for the next creep wave to show up until they can start sieging this bottom tower. However, top lane, they're already losing theirs.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
LeBron back in position. He is going to kill the wave.
Dire's top tower is under
Making
siege.
this push a whole lot harder. That tower healing, it's not a massive amount, but it's definitely slowing down the progress a little bit. He does hit level 5 with all those creeps dying. He doesn't get level 6 though. Otherwise, I would see an opportunity for Spider Pigz to just TP bot and take the fight with Overgrowth, but he's still level 5.
Normally I would, but I mean the TP scroll on Noob was down as well. I think that's a very big factor here. The only one they could really bring in Funnick, and he needs some time to stack up the damage. Versus the Morphling, that's not too great. He's always going to be morphing anyway. So, letting the bot tower go, it is a little bit of a loss for a Treant Protector, but they're going to have to find the same kind of opportunity again if they want the mid tower, and so forth for pretty much every single tower that Team Bolt wants to take.
Yeah. Gorp has been farming so far with his armlet almost ready. Not doing too bad. Could actually switch to net worth here and look at the numbers on the board. He is sitting fourth right now, 4,200 gold. Not doing too bad. Maybe he can ramp it up a little bit as the minutes about to come might prove so. However, LeBron is being dived onto the tower. Excalibur is a tree chasing a tree.
Giving some armor over as well. That's a very nice steal.
Yeah.
Healing up that middle tower now.
Oh, yeah.
The choice is made.
Mobility in trees, but yeah, healing towers. Support Excalibur. PogChamp.
I mean, he has an Eagle song queued up. I don't think that's a support item waiting to come on in.
Yeah.
He switches build over as well.
Yep. However, Noob, DNZ making their way to the jungle, looking for Gorp. They see him. They're gonna go for him. Mortimer's kisses. Here we go. Shotgun fired. Here comes the mortar barrage right on top of CK. He lives for now. And the egg explodes. Excalibur comes in between. Gorp still with 130 HP. Can he live through it? I can't believe if he actually makes it out. Noob, though, now he should be
Nice.
falling here. Tries to go for the Funnick kill.
Bushwhack.
Almost gets it, though. He missed the ulti with the Bushwhack there as well, but Noob, he's gonna get chased up eventually. He needs one more second. Not gonna get it. Rogix secures the double kill.
Commitment there. I think they actually switched their attention to the egg a little bit too early. I know it's easy to bring down on the first try, but you have that time, and getting the last hit in onto the carry there would have definitely saved you the opportunity to actually retreat out again.
Excalibur very aggressive here.
For the event.
He's got a regen rune, so he's okay. And he has a Ghost Scepter. He won't die. But yeah, true. The so-called attention that got shifted off of the CK onto the egg might have made a big difference there. Gorp, he might just die again. He just literally TP'd here. And he's gone for 30 seconds with his TP gone for a minute. Highlight eye getting died by Noob. Have a chance to get the connections here. One more right click, that's enough. Excalibur's here as well. One by one, they're dying. Tower fall.
Not ready for Spider-Pigz to come in again for that middle tower. It's something that you see a little bit more often, is that if an enemy backs off, especially if they lose a couple of kills, the pub experience is to just back off and spread and farm, right? And then, no, eventually when the enemy groups again, you group again, you're not ready for them to immediately be 5 men in the area where they just died. Taking your tower, taking your stacks.
Radiant's top
They're
tower
taking the
is under
ancient
siege.
stack. Pablo, Rogix, Paladai looking for some vengeance. Coming in with the rest of the squad, but Spider-Pigs are already moving out of the area. Pablo, with his pushback already used, happily TBC. He just teleports away and goes back to the top lane to push in the free zone, so to say. That area is completely in control of Spider-Pigs.
I don't want to say completely, they don't have vision there, but Noob is going to make sure that whatever flanking movement comes to top gets cut off. However, the flanking movement is actually coming into their triangle.
It's onto DNZ. Snapfire will tank this one. Gorp picks up the kill for himself. It's going to be the second.
You take our ancients, we take yours.
Yeah. Ah, contesting, eh? Risky. Noob comes in. Mortimer's Kiss is thrown down. Rogix. They've got the egg down as well. Can't kill the tree and Rogix. Oh, nice overgrowth. Catches the Pangolier on the spot, and his ulti is about to run out just now. You have the Viper
Noob
also
only has
here.
one step, though.
Another Viper strike. He's just trying to lead them away.
I didn't realize we had started.
The rest of them get to teleport out of there. However, the ancient stack does fall. It does look like it's meant for Spider-Pigs.
Double trouble.
I want to note here, by the way, that the Noob has gone for an Echo Saber build-up. This is one of the reasons that you see Excalibur moving on into the E-Blade. He doesn't need to protect himself from the silence because none is forthcoming so far. Next thing Noob is going to build is a Desolator. So they're moving all in on the minus armor that's going to get supported here by DNZ.
Yeah, it's an interesting item choice. I mean, don't get to see Echoes every day in the Void Spirit, but as you mentioned, double hits. Yes, the hero does hit pretty hard. It's a melee hero after all, who does have a pretty nice right click. Got that minus armor dished in. A couple hits as well with the ulti, the jumps. Get them quickly.
Echo Saber is probably the best bang for your buck kind of mid-game fighting item right now.
I
You
agree.
get a lot of survivability out of it, as well as, of course, the mana regen that Void Spirit very much loves.
Yeah.
But I'm not comfortable with the idea that you're giving up on all of the utility of your hero for this build. For sure, he's going to go back into an Aghanim Scepter eventually, right? It's unavoidable. But you're missing a big window where those silences have the most impact.
Yeah, that's an important factor to pay attention to. Definitely, like you're looking at TB in your team, usually likes to build Falcon Blade just because of the fact of having a little bit of mana regen. The same thing you can consider for the Echo Saber on Spectre. It's because of the mana regen that you get. The stats are nice. You don't have to get like
Dire's top tower
well, the Falcon Blade is the biggest comparison item you can get. Then there's the Dragon Lance. However, Rogix on the line, getting a jump on the Terror Blade. Here comes CK, pops his ulti, does a bit of damage on the Viper, might be able to get the Phonic Viper out of the way. Hoodwink also very low on HP. The egg in the middle of the fight. Beautiful positioning here. Will be able to secure 2, 3. TB down. Excalibur comes to the rescue. Team Bold find 3.
Excellently positioned for the team fight there. This is the second egg where I think Paladai is doing an amazing job dividing the attention of his enemies. Like, they're still wavering from the fact that they had a Pangolier on top of their faces immediately. And then as soon as they try to recover, the egg falls down into the middle and they have to refocus again. It is so hard to get any kind of coherent fight going.
And just as mentioned in the draft, you've got the Treant Overgrowth, we've got the CK Ags. This can easily dismantle the Treant ulti in a team fight. So I don't think Team Bold is going to feel too afraid to stack up, get hit by a 5-man Overgrowth because your ulti already counters it. Ulti for an ulti. Excalibur finds LeBron. Doesn't quite dive under the trees though. There's back up around. They're trying to defend this tower with LeBron and DNZ. Shove out the waves. LeBron's great at holding towers.
It's I mean, it's the only thing he'll do this game. And
Yep.
it is worth it. Now,
It is worth it.
Excalibur gets to play up right now, though. The fact that he doesn't have to fear anything but the overgrowth, really, is huge. Noob's not hunting him. He knows he doesn't actually have the burst damage to kill a Morphling.
Yeah.
Instead, he's hunting Pablo on his bot lane.
It's going to be a difficult one though. Hoodwink still hiding in the trees, but with the help of the Echo Saber, a lot of right-click damage. You have to get one. However, they find Pylite Eye in the top lane eventually. And a tiny bit of a pause as well. Maybe there was some lags involved. Who knows? But Pablo down, Phoenix down. It's only a 1k lead here.
In general, Team Bald have had a lot of space to farm here. Even though their towers went down, Spider Pigs hasn't been as much on the money with pushing the waves out as I thought they would be. That said, they are staring down the barrel of a TB Metamorph on their bottom tower. And that's where, once you lose all 3 of your outers, you are going to start properly seeding terrain in the middle of the map.
Looking at big things in store here for Team Bold. We've got the E-Blade Morphling Manta style coming up. This Morphling is easily the carrying force of Team Bold. So much different comparing to the previous game where they had the Puck and the Drow when the opponent has a lineup that just crashes on top of you. Now we're looking at stand your ground fighting where Morphling can be more aggressive. You have much more mobility in Bold's draft now, which I like a lot.
Yeah, the fact that he's just allowed to go for this E-Blade is fantastic for him. It also means that you actually get to nuke down the Terrorblade as you saw during the previous fight.
Yeah.
No Sunder for you.
(12-12). We're on an even score. 18 minutes in game number 2 of this lower bracket elimination game between Spider Pigz and Team Bold Reborn. Spider Pigz, who did get knocked out to the lower bracket by Team Liquid, and Team Bold playing their first series of the playoffs. Excalibur moving towards the jungle. There is a Metamorph TV. Metamorph's about to run out though. He finds LeBron on the side of the camera. Let's quickly catch a glimpse of LeBron, who used to be there. DNZ.
Spider Pigs have to give up this positioning.
It does. That was a pretty bad Mortimer's Kisses.
It was, yes. It's like he expected more from his team, but
Yeah.
they weren't really forthcoming. And now they're going to lose the middle tower off of this. After all the hard work that LeBron has done to keep their towers up.
Yep.
No more middle tower.
Sometimes all that hard work never pays off, and you hate when that happens. LeBron is not happy. Noob in the mid lane. They don't really have a chance on jumping on this Void Spirit unless they're in melee range and get bushwhacked to follow into Chaos Bolt. Looking for DNZ there. Pretty optimistic attempt there from Pablo. Not too far off though. Pretty good try. DNZ is safe.
Safe. For now. And I think that Spider Pigs, the position that they're in right now, they really need to get a good opportunity going that does not involve the Morphling being there, because they currently can't actually fight the Morphling unless they get a really good fight. Because their biggest leverage on the game is Noob right now, and he doesn't do anything to the Morphling. This is a problem.
Yeah, he's
So instead, they're waiting for Coma.
he's got all of that minus armor. but he can't get to utilize it. He's killing everything else except for the Morphling, and Morphling is the huge threat here. They are smoking themselves up, heading towards the bot lane. There's a Rajix, which is a decent pick, but he's already blinking out, teleporting away. The scan is there, and as soon as that, they also notice that he's no longer there. He's also gone from the scene. They will dodge this.
This is what happens when you have to run after creep waves. It just takes so long to get there, and their spidey senses will be tingling long
Counter
for
smoke.
that.
4-man
Yep.
counter smoke from Team Bold.
Tower is being attacked.
Potential is there. Who do they catch? Phonic is an alright target. Noob is a great target. TV would be the best that they could find. They could.
Maybe would be the absolute best.
Yeah, they don't
And
have
they're
the
looking-
fantastic Roche lineup, but this is the Ags reveal on the CK. They can completely dismantle the Treant and surprise him completely.
Bloody bounty!
As well as that Spider Pigs in general don't really have a great lineup to deal with all of these illusions that are going to come out.
Koma's in the top lane.
Doubt he's going to show himself. Yeah, he knows what's up.
Yeah, this whole situation kind of dismantles. Pablo also finds Noob pushing the bot lane, trying to deal some damage onto this tower. Both teams are dodging each other's. It's like DB wants to be a bit bigger. Manta, BKB, Ags. Those three items combined, TB can easily hit 3.5k HP.
He can, yes. And not just the HP, but the fact that he's not going to get nuked down out of his center position is what really matters to him.
Exactly. Gonna be a difficult target to take down with all of that, all those stats behind him.
Dire's bottom tower
And
under fire.
he doesn't need to worry about damage right now. The Desolator from the steps of Noob
Radiant's
is
top
going
tower
to
is
secure
being
that there's a
attacked.
lot of minus armor on all the targets near him currently.
Some mind games going on in bottom, and at the same time at the top lane, trying to make a tier 1 trade. Noob trying to dive for Pile Die, but can't catch him, and the cookie. I like the idea of the pre-thrown cookie by DNZ onto Noob as he
Radiant's
jumps
middle
in
tower is being
to
attacked.
get the quick zap, turn around, get the stun from the cookie as it arrives. But it's such a slow projectile.
It is, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of cute things you can do with projectiles like that. The one that is most commonly seen is actually the Oracle Purge.
Yep.
You purge your hero, or you start charging the purge before they jump in. They go in and they root on arrival. It's pretty cute.
Oh, nice. Okay, this looks great. Gorp just used his ulti when Excalibur turned into a Terrorblade and made Terrorblade illusions. Now they're making Morphling Terrorblade illusions. So we have Terrorblade illusions of Terrorblade illusions of Morphling's illusions. So we have... Look at all these... It's not a massive
You know, I
amount.
want to say I see, but I don't.
So I'm just saying, like, you can use these for a moment, but they can't really push this tower either because backdoor protection is up. And I like the idea behind it, but it's... Yeah, he's got it up in 40 seconds, so it's not a loss. It's not
No,
like,
it's not a
okay,
loss.
something cool was about to happen, but fake hype. I know. But I'm just, you know, it can be a big factor.
It can be. And they're bringing in the boomerang now as well from the hoodwink. So we're going to have a lot of extra damage spread throughout the team, which it means that, again, you can direct your illusions to anyone that you want. Both of the teams ready for the
And-
full-on team fight.
Another smoke. Maybe this one pays off. We've had a couple smokes so far with no success. DNZ is right in the front. They have some kind of idea. Yep, they see him now. This is a chance. They see Phonic. Phonic's the target. He dodges the first preliminary stun. Gonna get connected on the sharpshooter. Quickly deleted. The DD popped on the Morphling as well. Looking for more kills if they can. DNZ trying to get away with the cookie. Does get hit by the Remnant as well. Rogers, they're gonna bring the Snapfire in. They got the Overgrowth coming in as well. There comes the Gorp. Gorp with his ulti will remove all of those roots, and they can keep on the push here. The Sunray heal taking on a tier 2 tower. They do have the glyph though. Spider Pigs, can they answer? Koma coming in
Nope,
from the
we have to go
side.
in again.
BKB ready. Metamorph ready. They've got the Morphling jumping on Excalibur. He's gone. Just like that, they instantly punish, and Gorp in trouble. He has nothing. He's got nothing
They
to
can't
help
fall
him.
now.
They do have the bushwhack, but that's about it. Gorp will fall.
Oh, that was... He started morphing down as if the threat was already gone. Far from it. The TB had spent nothing yet. They were always going to be ready to go back in there.
10 seconds for Roche. 10 seconds. Do they have the calm? Do they have the patience? They're going into the jungle realizing it's not gonna be up. But as soon as this remnant pops, wait for the pings. None. There we go. There we go. Finally LeBron pings like, hey, I heard something. And they're gonna go for it. And also the scan comes out. Can Team Bolt answer that, Kips?
I don't think so. They don't have a TP point near. Shrine, outpost has already been taken, so they're going to have to TP to this tier 2 here and just hope they're going to get some time. But there is no time. Roche is already dead.
Oh, Phoenix dives into the remnants as well. He's quickly deleted from this one. Oh, he does come with a buyback, though. Pretty beautiful ulti from Rogix. Takes down TNT. Pablo falls as well. Rogix comes in again. Takes down Phonic. Noob with a double kill already. He's still in the middle of the fight. Gets pulled back in. He's at 400 HP. Jumps away with the BKB safety. Excalibur comes in, though. He wants to look for something. He needs to get a catch. But they're too far away. They can't see them anymore. They get away with the Aegis.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Hugely important for Coma. If they lose that Aegis there, there's still... As soon as the BKB is over, the TB dies. But not having to use that BKB there, making sure that he actually does secure the Aegis for himself, means that all this burst over on the side of Team Bolt is only good for one round.
Precious bounty.
16-17 on the board. Very even game on both ends. I feel like this game is just about to begin, because this is where the characters start to get big. The TB, the Morphling, the CK. The Void Spirit also still has some room for some items. We see the Shiva's Guard, we've got the Aghanims coming. And surprisingly, Aghanims after everything else.
I mean, as I said, it's inevitable that you're eventually going to go for it. It's still very nice for dealing with the supports. It's a lot of utility, it's some extra damage. But with his build, he first wanted to secure a possible mid-game timing with the Snapfire. I've said this in some guides before. I think that's a debate. Yes, you can do a lot of damage, but it's usually on single targets. And you're not going to have the time really to do that versus this Team Bolt lineup.
Yep.
You're going to get bursted in return.
They're pretty close to each other's now. They're on the high ground. Bushwhack from Pablo. They find the Viper. They did not know that Noob was on the high ground. Coming in from the side. Now they see both. They see DNC. They see Noob. They see LeBron. Rogix comes in. They're going to quickly evaporate this Snapfire out of play. Yeah, the Manta Overgrowth is a bit of a miss from LeBron, and he will lose his life too. Tiny bit of miscommunication there, but I wouldn't even say miscomms. I would just say one player reacted and the other didn't. Noob was thinking about going in, but he was feeling a bit threatened. Meanwhile, he doesn't feel threatened about Twilight Eye. How when the fight breaks loose under the tier 2, Tau TD in trouble, gets the Sunder off, but Koma dropping low. He still has that Aegis, still has his Metamorph. 200 HP, Rogix in trouble. He's trying to roll out to safety. Moves away. Pablo goes to Bushwhack. They just forced 2 buybacks and they're out. Dodges at least the sharpshooter, giving a bit of vision, knowing where they are abouts. He's still chasing, but Pablo's hard to catch.
Big win for Team Bolt there. The Spider Pigs, I think they're expecting this game to be played by the rules. Like, man, you don't go in like that onto that high ground, right? In the Radiant Triangle. Well, yeah, actually you do. And then as soon as Noob shows on the top lane, you actually get this really big reaction towards trying to kill that Aegis. The shots that are being called from Team Bolt right now are very good, actually.
Still, Spider Pigs, when they notice that they have some kind of advantage, they will take advantage of it and push all the way to the dire side of the map. Team Bolt hiding behind the tier 2 tower. Spider Pigs, they're staying in the area. But Bolt is already back to full strength. No Mortimer's Kisses for 40 seconds. Bolt has everything. Also a Gleipnir and Pango. Missed that completely. It's another extra route.
They're really starting to ramp up in their ability to actually keep the enemy close. And the TB is getting closer to Scotty.
Yep, that Scotty's the big game changer for the Terrorblade. That's when burst damage is not going to be enough anymore.
You never feel quite secure in a game with a Morphling, though.
what's about to roll out. They have Spider Pigs holding on their side of the map. Team Bald yet to reveal any cards here. They are holding onto their side of the triangle. There is the Aegis about to expire. 23 seconds. They've at least withstanded the Tempest for now. Withstood. Pardon my French. Excalibur has also got that Scotty up in just a tiny bit. Just a couple hundred gold short.
Keeping pace.
Yep, keeping a good pace. Phonic only built up a Vessel and a Hurricane Pike, just a utility offlane Viper, as expected. Not that many auras, though, on Spider Pig's side.
No, it's never really been about their team fight. It's just all this physical burst, and if it doesn't work out, if they don't have enough, then the fight is lost, and we've seen that several times now. Careful jockeying now. Again, slight lane pushing advantage for Spider Pigs here, especially with Noob, who is still very, very hard to catch. He can dodge basically anything the Team Bald can throw at him. And they're going to take forward positioning here with the smoke, hoping somebody's going to react to this push on the top racks.
Radiant's bottom tower
Looking
under
for
fire.
an answer here, but it is Pablo TPing in the end, but he knows he knows better to stay hidden, and as he does, they cut out the top wave. There's still the catapult and the TB illusion, still doing a decent amount of damage onto this tower.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
They literally have no vision over this top area. They're completely blind.
Dire's top
They
tower
are,
is
and both
being
teams really
attacked.
want to take fights on their own terms right now. Either of them wants to blow somebody up. Spider Pigs through Noob, Team Bald
Dire's middle tower
through a combination of the
taking
Morphling and the Hoodwink most likely. But they'll also take a CK pick off into a Hoodwink shot if they have to. And look at how close they're putting these Vanguards. Noob,
Radiant's bottom
Bork
tower is being attacked.
within an arm's reach.
Pretty much, the distance ain't that far. Pablo also has an idea about throwing those bushwhacks into trees. Might be lucky and catch someone by accident. Excalibur also moving nearby means that that's a direct indicator of he's ready to go in. If he just gets that tiny opening, Team Bald, if they can get a quick pick off to start the fight, that would be exactly what they need. They want to be on the upper hand. Look at that blink stun onto Noob. They've got him. They've got the bushwhack. Everything thrown on Noob. And taken out by the sharpshooter from Pablo. Roshan is still down for a few minutes, but Team Bald at least trying to hunt for more kills. Phonic, TP's out. They're getting everyone out except for DNZ, who does get caught by Gorb. But where's your creep wave? It's getting cut by a TB illusion, so they can't even push this tower. They're going straight through backdoor, though.
At the very least here, they're going to be able to re-establish some vision, some grip over on this left side of the map, if they would like so. Paladai. What
Dire's
does he
middle
drop that word,
tower
man?
is being attacked.
Holding on to it for now, though.
They see
I'd much rather
Coma.
play on
Projects catches him with a Gleipnir, trying to force the Manta's actually on cooldown. He's going to have to use the BKB to get out. He's going to get stunned. 4 seconds. 4. Keeping his distance. Excalibur's here. Yep. 2.8k HP with that Scotty. Not an option.
It gives away at the very least that there's Team Bald vision in the bottom area, but Spider Pigz is just going to have to wait it out until Noob returns and then see if they can try the same game with the Noob pick off. And it's going to be like that pretty much up until the Roshan responds. Both teams are waiting for this. They know that they need to negate the other team's ability to burst.
Another fast Rosh respawn. The last one was 10 seconds. This one was something about the same, maybe 15 to 20. It has spawned. Pablo scouts it out. Spider Pigs, they will also find out right now. TB with that
Coma
DD run.
launched
Coma
up.
could just go in and go for it. Look at this damage. It's pretty fast pickings for him. Dire Scan comes out. Team Bolt, they can definitely fight this. Projects comes in. They go in as well. They got the illusion coming out as well, but they're trying to get Coma. Coma is the much more important target. He's got that BKB, but he can't get it off. Now he does. Finally gets it off. The overgrowth coming out as well. LeBron will fall. Excalibur takes the first kill. Coma just standing his ground. Gork taking heavy hits. And this CK forced away. Noob comes in with another jump onto the back line, and they finish off Gorp. He's taken out. Projects will fall as well. Second hero down. Buybacks coming in on all sides. Phonic falling, and they will take down Excalibur as well. The Morphling dies too, and he comes in for another buyback. Spider Pigs, they need to assess the situation. Are we going to stay or are we going to disengage from this one? Noob says hell no. He goes back in. Projects takes down one. Pilot ID as he both have fallen. Coma, Noob, able to get out of there. Phonic coming in with a buyback though. But Team Bolt, they use a heavy amount of buybacks into this fight. Do they still take Roche?
Not sure they need Coma to be ready, but his metamorphosis is running out.
It is. Only a few more seconds. Excalibur moving out. Pablo, he's camouflaged right next to the pit. Rogix, he's got Noob on him. Gleipnir on 2, holding them on the spot. Coma, he's finally turned into back to his normal form. Now Excalibur reveals his final form. Needs to get in. E-Blade does a decent amount of damage on Coma, but he is able to remove at least the E-Blade debuff. However, Noob with the BKB. Excalibur turns around with the Scotty. A lot of slows coming in. And a lot of damage from the Scotty. Pablo is still waiting. He's spamming stick charges to get more mana while trying to stay hidden because there's no sentry around this area.
Well, he could just sit
Get
right
some
there. They're
mangoes.
not coming for him.
He just got mangoes off the courier, so he can still stay in the fight. Phonic coming back in. Noob coming back in. Excalibur in the pit. 3,000 HP on Roshan. There comes another remnant outside the pit. DB Illusion to give the information. And here we go. Rajix jumps in. Another CK ulti from Gort. They get the catch on Phonic. Phonic will be taken out, and that's a dieback on the Viper. Maybe more. Noob disengaging on the high ground, but Excalibur has taken the Aegis. They've taken the cheese. They've taken the shard.
Excellent play by Team Ball to actually get out here. Like, that fight was... The first fight was so hard with the Morphin jumping in too far and the rest of the team having to go past the TB, which they couldn't. It was a very frustrating one, but through this positional play, they actually managed to get him to that Aegis. The buyback doesn't matter. Okay.
Pretty risky play here. Void Spirit trying to draw some attention. Excalibur comes in as well. Forces the BKB off of Noob. Forces him away as well. Gorp is just going. He doesn't care. Blinks in aggressively. Rogix fails with a swashbuckle there, but it wouldn't have been enough for a kill anyway. You have the sharpshooter. Not enough this time, but at least they get to siege this tower down. Aegis still up.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Aegis still up. And this is going to allow Excalibur to go toe-to-toe with the Terrorblade.
Radiant's top tower is linger on in memories.
Being healed up as well, passing the cheese over to Gorp.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Spider Pigs are... They're going to need Team Ball to over-engage into them now. This Terrorblade has a butterfly. It's harder to bring down than ever, but the burst is still a problem. You can see that whenever his BKB is over, he immediately has to start playing around the Morphling, playing around that E-Blade.
What does Terrorblade get next? Butterfly.
Radiant's
Straight up
top
Butterfly
tower
has
is
been
being
bought.
attacked.
No buyback. 1,300 gold short of it. Spider Pigs moving behind enemy lines. Pablo found in the mid lane. LeBron coming in the Aeon disc will keep him up a little bit longer. Morphling TPing in. Overgrowth comes out as well. Gorp, they found Noob. They take him out. They quickly find the Void Spirit on the sideline. LeBron should be able to teleport away, but the damage has already been dealt. They get a big pick off here.
No chance for him to get off that BKB. That was quick punishment. And this is what happens when you don't quite have the damage.
My waters rise.
TNC moving out. Yeah.
They're going to have to wait out this Aegis. I'm trying to think of ways that they can play their way around it, but their teamfight ults are not going to make that much of a difference by now, especially because we've seen that overgrowth countered by the Ags over on the CK time and time again by now. It's really just all about, does Goma get to output his damage? But the rest of the team can't actually make the enemies stand in that damage.
Yeah, I mean, how do they really stand in those fights? How do they keep themselves up? So there's not enough sustain. There's no real healing on Spider Pig's side either. It's just fighting till the end. Like, it's kind of like fight to the death in a sense. You go in, you stay there.
There's a possibility they're going to run into Gork here. He is moving in rather optimistically.
Yep. So DNZ is Glimmer caped up. Can he get a cookie? Oh, he reveals himself. Gorp should be careful now. He's aware, at least. These illusions
Where's
pushing
Spider
in top,
Pigz, though?
pushing in mid, pushing in bottom. He's going in. He's thinking TNT's all alone, and he does get that kill for himself. Coma comes in, though. He's got that Metamorph, and does it pay off in the end? Gorp is about to fall. He got the chain. He got the cheese heal for himself. The the sharpshooter coming in. Gorp ends up falling. Viper low. Rajik's coming in to maybe rescue the day. Excalibur comes in as well. They take down Phonic. Now Coma 1v1 with Excalibur. He's trying to deal more damage than what he's taking. He does get the Sunder on his ally. Excalibur takes down TNT. Noob coming in as well. Rajik is trying to get held in place for now. He needs 2 more seconds for the root to come out. Coma falls! Coma falls! Excalibur just quickly snipes him out. The TB's out of play. Rajix, Pablo chasing up Noob. Excalibur trying to find some TPers, but he can't find anyone. But they found Void. They found Noob. We might just take him out as well. They will. The E-Blade connects. Triple kill for Excalibur. Team Bolt fighting.
The fact that the TB had to use his BKB so early that there was nobody else in order to put damage into Excalibur. Yeah, you can see he's toast after it's over. That no amount of HP is going to save him from the E-Blade. It just went through.
How did all of that even start, Kips? With Gorp going 1v4, drawing the attention and allowing them to just collapse on top, but they're just going to go straight for the tier 4 towers. They force the glyph at least, and a buyback from the Void Spirit. They can focus on these racks if they want to. They don't need to go straight up end the game. They get the buyback out. That's already big.
No need for the Terrorblade to buy back here, or I should say no use. He doesn't have Metamorphosis. That's not going to do much good for his team.
LeBron on the side. There's not much that this Treant Protector can do anymore at this stage of the game. He can only pop his ulti, but there is the Aghanims on the CK, and their ulti, the Phantasm, is going to be up in 30 seconds again. Excalibur hitting the buildings in the front. Already 1 lane secured. Taking a second. They can happily disengage from this. Team Bold have made quite a convincing comeback. Well, not a comeback in a sense, but comeback into the series as a whole. They fought, and they've kept themselves in the game.
Ooh. He was tempted. He's just going to do it.
Right eye. Get caught by the stun from Noob. BKB popped. DP away.
His damage is not enough anymore.
It's wearing off. It's wearing off for sure. More illusions to push out lanes. But yeah, I will correct myself a little bit with the comeback. I meant comeback is in the series itself. As Team Bald has easily kept themselves in this game too. It's been back and forth for sure, but it was nothing like game number 1, where they were playing from behind the whole time.
Absolutely, and their win condition was so slim by then, but just on the back of how far up Gork has been playing, back of Excalibur, getting these pickoffs, going for the E-Blade, taking the risk. You can see how the threat has kept Spider Pigz down.
Koma finds himself a Pangolier. A little bit of a staring contest there for a second.
No, got himself a Minotaur Horn. This is probably the best neutral item that he could have gotten at this point in the game. And save it up to hopefully dodge these E-Blades with.
Yep. What I really like here for Snapfire is the Timeless Relic, the debuff duration for the stuns, because you've got the Shard for the Scatter Shot stun, you've got the Cookie stun, so 2.2, and then a 2-second Scatter Blast plus the 25% debuff duration, so it's a quarter more. Very good stun locking. However, stun locking is what they need exactly on both ends. Coma sending illusions in towards the pit. Quite a lot of Roshan's been in this game. Another one might be up in 20 seconds. Have to find out what the actual timer is in the end. Team Bald know the importance of it too. They're smoking up. Wrap around. Knowing that Roche isn't up yet. Phonic in the mid lane is gonna walk into a straight up trap. The E-Blade connects. Doesn't take too much damage yet, but they're controlling him. They find LeBron. LeBron half HP right now. The Viper strike. The Viper ulti comes out as well. Phonic is going to fire. He's going to buy back into the bite. And he's also going to lose the Treant Protector. Meanwhile, Rajix dropping very low on HP. Tries to get himself out. The Sunray is there. The Egg is there. Koma's going to get stunned. He needs to be careful. He moves out just in time. TNT takes the bullet for him, and he jumps in the middle. Excalibur comes in as well, trying to take him down, but the Sunder comes out as well. They got the pushback connected as well, and a huge chaotic fight just breaks loose here as Koma in the middle of everything. A little take down the TB. TB is down with no buyback. Team Bold Might have just done it here. They're still chasing Spider Pigs away. Brajix forces Funnick back onto the high ground, but losing Coma there. They're gonna go most likely secure maybe Roshan, maybe high ground or something. They're regenning up at least. The Satanic Heal on this Morphling, but that might be it, Kips.
Might be it. Once again, a beautiful egg from Pylai, forcing Coma to choose to step down off the high ground, off of his advantageous position, and allowing Team Belt to collapse on him as soon as his BKB runs out. You can see him stepping back, trying to avoid the stun, but by that point his positioning is already so precarious.
Having a bit of difficulties trying to siege these tier 4 towers straight up. There's still the Treant Protector healing them.
The reign of terror is over. Dire's courier is dead.
Being respectful.
They
For
are.
now.
And
Stay down at last bottom tower.
Yep.
Yeah, like the top Rax is going to most likely keel over and die on its own, especially if nobody shows up right now.
Yeah, double catapults doing decent amount of work here. This is really Team Ball's game to win at the moment. Roche is up in 115.
I might actually wait for that. There's no need not to. There's no items that Spider Pigs are going to buy that are going to cast the game into disarray again. It's very clear that the Void Spirit is pretty much done scaling. He's going to get the Aghanims now, but his damage output hasn't been sufficient for quite a while already. Neither is his utility. The Viper has just been food. He needs to tank all of these ganks, but he usually can't stand long enough to actually give his team any advantage. So it all comes down to Coma, and what he could do is buy a Rapier. That's it.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same. Rapier is pretty much the only choice right now, because they had the damage at the start, they had the sustain, but even with the Sunder, even with the help of the Sunder, TB, of course, he's picked up the Metamorph attack range to keep the safe distance, but he really needs to hit level 30 and get that second point. That 34-second Sunder cooldown becomes more and more and more valuable the further the game goes. But that Rapier might be the choice, the solution to the damage.
It's the only option really. Right now, he has the right position in most of these fights, but he doesn't kill anybody before the BKB is over. And after the BKB is over, we've seen it twice already. It doesn't matter anymore.
To the Roche pit they go. This time there's also an Aghanims to be shared. There are 2 players without it. Morphling and the Phoenix. Aegis given to the Morphling. Ag's buff is also picked up by the Morphling. Let's see if Morph is going to be using it. They're still discussing it. They give it to Pylai. So we're going to get the Supernova requiring more hits. You can play more aggressive now with it.
It is. But it's also, it's a risky one. We've seen it before where Phoenix is with an Aghanim Scepter, pick up, misjudge their carry player's health, and get both of them killed at the same time. And it's always a little bit of a...
Yeah, that for sure is
a lot of trust in your Phoenix if you give him this. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, that can definitely spell trust issues. That can also happen. But in general, you're also upgrading the hits required to destroy it, so you can definitely position your Phoenix Egg much more into the front now and draw some attention from Spider Pigs to maybe attract and hit it. Even without a hero that you're coming in to save. Like, they could obviously go in and save the Morphling if Morphling decides to play more aggressive. But I kind of feel like the Egg enables the team more by going the Phoenix goes in and then the rest stay around. I don't know. Everything, either way, they have options now.
They do have options. Spider Pigs only had one option, and they took it. Rapier is up on the TB. He has sold his boots.
Stand and fight.
Stand and deliver.
Stand and deliver. That's the way we're looking at it.
Boys.
That's what we're looking at right now. It's been a while since Spider Pigs have been able to push any of these lanes. Around 10 minutes ago, this game was still tied. Maybe 15 minutes ago. This game was absolutely tied.
Not any longer. Team Ball definitely have the advantage here with the CK also scaling pretty deeply, especially just on the tankiness front. They need so much damage and so much attention from Coma to be poured into the CK before you can even get around to the Morphling.
Overwhelming blink on its way. Tiny bit of damage. Nice slow. The slow is great. Plus, you get more stats for your blink dagger, making the CK even harder to kill. He can soak up even more attention from this TB, and they're gonna need it if they go up against the Rapier.
Yes, for sure. It's very likely that it's going to take some buybacks to punch through this high ground. And if Team Ball are not ready to immediately commit everything, then they're not going to be able to do it.
Another smoke coming in from Team Bald aggressively right outside of Spider-Pig's base. They know well to stay on the high ground. One tiny mistake might cost them all.
Terrorblade has been hugging his fountain.
Yep, he is at the very back. Rightfully so. Right now, Bald can't find any loose heroes. No openings. Noob has also parked himself. And they might catch him here. He's in vision of the ward. They come in. Gorp gets the stun. He can't get himself out of there. And then we'll take down Noob. 120 seconds down with the buyback available. But the tier 3 tower already going down on this bottom lane. Buyback forced. Excalibur in the front. Coma. He has that rapier. He wants to use it. But with no Aghanims, he's only got one shot at that Metamorph working out.
Now both of his other cores don't have buyback.
ENZ, blink stun. Nicely coming on to the Morphling. Aegis down. Rogix comes into the rescue. Noob. He can't die now. It's a dieback otherwise. Rogix rolls out. Excalibur. A lot of damage onto Gorp. Gorp being held in place. He's dropping low. 700 HP. Gets dragged into the egg. And now Spider-Pigs. They need to move. They take down Rogix. And it's a 5v4. And they're backing out. Noob. 5 seconds for another ulti charge. But can't get there. Spider-Pigs hold.
Taking damage.
For now. But the Metamorph is timing out.
Yep, Metamorph is running out. They did get the Aegis. They got the Phoenix Egg. They got the CK ulti. They did use their overgrowth in the process. But they keep the Rapier for themselves. So they have... They still have their chances.
They still have their chances. The fact that they killed Rajix there is actually huge because he doesn't have a buyback. If he would have it, they would have just come straight back in right after the Metamorph had timed out, but no such thing. Spider-Pigs hold to fight another day. Even if their base has once again taken quite a beating. They're running out of buildings.
Yeah, that's the... I mean, the positive side, there's less buildings to defend. Always got to look on the bright side of life. Though, on the downside, top lane is always pushing in. Mid-wave, well, the mid-wave is easiest to defend because of the distance shared. Obviously, the spot lane is super important for Spider-Pigs to keep up. The melee racks is very, very important to keep up.
Well, ain't this cute?
Noob gets the jump on Pablo. Playing aggressive outside of his base. Gets a bit of harassment damage, but Hoodwink also has 3,000 HP.
For the record, I did
So very hard to get this guy out of the way. There's the 5k HP Gorp CK. Yep.
Yeah. It's just all... It's all damage issues. Noob has fallen off. I mean, this is normally where you'd get the Desolator to help your TB out, but instead he's going to have to go for whatever utility he can scrounge up. The real lack of DPS comes from Funnick here, and there's just no good way for him to scale into that anymore anyway, because he dies. They tear through him like a piece of paper. So instead, get a Hex, get an opportunity to contribute something with a big, impactful spell before you bite dust.
As much as Spider-Pigs would love to stay and defend their base, looks like they're preparing for a smoke. They just brought it up from the Treant's inventory.
Bold.
Might not actually use it right here. They have it ready for a moment, but they're definitely planning. They're definitely discussing it in comms right now, as they do have to cut another wave in top. Also being careful that nobody's here in the triangle, because they don't know. But they are... Okay, they're stacking up now. Is this
Thomas
the
sold
play?
his Manta style.
This has
Gone
to be
for
the play.
Swift Blink.
This is the play now.
Is it though? Most of their waves are pushed in. I doubt they're actually going to catch anything.
EV can send illusions to push out waves. Bottom stays still. Mid needs to be defended. Top also has a TB illusion pushing it out. They're recovering ground. Getting some vision down at least. Bold are moving around the Roche Pit area, trying to keep that area in control. Both vision-wise, but also presence-wise, that they're always around if something were to happen. Void Spirit also realizes the need for Aeon Disc. Well, Gorp, here comes even more illusions than the TB can provide, and they're going to lose the top lane. Watermir's Kisses, they might fly in, but the range racks are already out.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Only one lane left to defend. It's easier that way.
It sure is. Meanwhile, Pablo hunting for DNZ. Doesn't quite get the catch on him though. Highlight Igor. Both in the area. Roche, 22 seconds. What is up with these quick Roshans? This is very unordinary. For
It's starting to become statistically very unlikely, yes.
yeah. Yes.
Oh, one fast rush, sure. Two fast rushes, fine. Three?
3 or 4
Starting a
even.
trend.
Feel like there's only been one Roshan above the 1 minute marker. The rest of them have been less than 25 seconds. Roche being up once again, Team Bold. Sadly, you can't provide vision into the Roche Pit with your courier, so they can't actually see if Roche is up. You're gonna have to check it manually.
I think that if you're Team Bold, you're starting to get a good idea of where Spider Pigs are hanging out. You just really rather not move up this high ground into the Terrorblade either.
Yeah, both are
The fact
holding
he's
a...
forward cutting your waves says a lot.
They're both holding the most advantageous spots for their respectful sides. Radiant in the Dire Triangle, Dire in the Radiant Triangle.
And with the vision that has been placed down by Spider Pigs here, they're actually in a decent position to get themselves some tier 5 items.
True, tier 5
is
items
not
almost
going
soon
to-
on the board. Not many of those have been seen in the EU qualifiers so far, so this is a good moment to cross your fingers and bless RNG maybe.
Yeah, see if Koma gets himself a ballista, or rather if he doesn't, if you're a Team Bold fan.
However, the most calmest Roshan take so far. Secured by Team Bold. Another Aegis. Another Ag's Blessing, this time for the Morphling himself, so he can finally unlock Ally Morph. But is there any ally to morph to?
You can get some utility out of the CK, I guess.
True. Yeah, actually, true. Because you get the increased cast range, you've got good chances of using the stun and then going in. That might just be enough to blow up a Void Spirit. However, that Aeon Disc, it's waiting in the stash. He's got it locked for now.
Problem where your backpack's too full.
You gotta hold on to the bottle as well, because you never know if there's a DD lying around. Pretty intense ending for this game, if there is one. 35,000 gold lead for Team Bold. 50,000 experience and counting. And the game is still going. 1
I've had
minute.
them choked out for a long time.
1 more minute for the neutral items. Could actually look at both teams.
Is being attacked.
As you can see, they almost have the same items. The differences are the flicker and the trickster. Not the trickster, the stormcrafter. Otherwise, we have the same
Position here by
items.
Spider Pigs. Not getting what they want though.
They're staying in a really defensive setup. Noob has to quickly jump at Gorp. Almost gets an opening.
And all that vision that Spider Pigs worked so hard to plant it has been systematically deordered. Nothing remains. That gem on Pilot Eye doing a lot of work. So now, if they want any of those juicy tier 5 items, they're going to have to get them on top, where the vision of Team Bolt shows everything.
Or if they want to go in the base right now, the ward gets placed down. Who takes the T-board? It's the TB Illusion who walks in front. Pilot Eye quickly removes the sentry, but still gonna get the vision out as they were smoked up a moment ago outside the base. However, top lane DNZ, Rajix both found. There's the Hex. Quick TP out. Can he make it in time? Close one. He gets out. There's a DD as well on the top side. And now we have our tier 5 neutral items kicking in. This is the moment where if you blessed your, if you prayed correctly, you might get what you wanted. Force Boots,
Well,
Book of Shadows, Giant
Ring for
Ring.
Gord.
Oh my god.
3,
I can assign
2,
you
1.
thus.
Pop.
All hail
That-
the big CK Corp.
That is a big boy.
That is a monstrosity. And
On
meanwhile, in the top
little
lane,
Regics.
Spider Pigs were hoping to find some of those items for themselves. Now, with the advantage of the Giant's Ring, CK can basically move anywhere on the map, but they found DNC. Will quickly get him out. Now they're just considering, do we instantly buyback or not? However, Noob has also found a Giant's Ring. Secures it.
Decent.
And takes it all the way back home. Do we give it for TB? Do we give it for someone else? TB would love to hold on to the Minotaur ring. Or Minotaur horn. I
Yeah,
mean.
he needs the Minotaur horn is the problem.
So it is on the Void. 3.8k HP. A little bit more tanky now.
Yep. Still got the point booster locked in his stash to avoid accidentally creating a soul booster.
Yep.
That would be such a disaster.
Okay. He's got something now.
Amazing what you found laying around.
Nope.
I believe what we're seeing. What just happened?
It looks like he just sold his point booster.
Yeah, I think he did actually.
There must be something to it.
Tired of holding his breath. Resident sleeper in all chat.
This whole
Yes.
It's like,
I
come
don't
on,
know,
I'm
man.
down. I'm down. What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for... I think we're all waiting for something to show up here because we've got all the stuff pretty much for a great ending. We have the Ex Machina as well picked up for the Pangolier, but still 3 empty slots here for Spider Pigs that they would desperately love to fill in. Noob wants to go to the jungle so bad, but he can't get there. Double couriers in the pit. Looks like we have an Abyssal Blade coming in for the Pango. Yep. And something waiting on the courier sitting. What does the Morphling get? A butterfly.
Just to hold in the backpack for now. He's got an Aegis for a little bit more. Alright, Noob. No, that camp's empty, my friend.
Oh, nothing there. That is also
It's
the
fine.
Aegis expired. Maybe now Spider Pigs can breathe a little bit more freely. Just a little bit. 10 buybacks up. Aegis out.
Nothing from those two camps.
This is really just a waiting game in a sense of who makes the first move. Honestly, Project spotted in bottom. LeBron was around the area. Noob.
I think he's
There's Gorp.
trying to make his way
Gorp
over to the
just-
triangle.
Warp just walks straight through. Does he find DNC? Just walks on top of the teleport. Noob is being chased up. Project is around the
Bash.
area. Can't quite get to him. CK still has the blink. Or no. Yeah, he did have the blink ready. Not gonna go on the high ground though.
LeBron made it to the triangle. Found a Book of Shadows.
That's something. This is actually pretty good when you think about the silence, mute, disarm. You can remove either one enemy from the fight. Like, the Morphling can't do anything at that time, but you're also kind of putting yourself at like, okay, we can't actually even kill him either. It's a double-edged
Or you
sword.
can save your Terror Blade. Yes.
"64 minutes and counting. Waiting for both teams are probably pretty hectic right now on what moves are going to be played out. Bold are playing against elimination. Spider Pigs. They can give away a map, but they wouldn't want to.
What, LeBron got found.
Oh, Excalibur coming in
Nope.
pretty deep here. Pilot, they find him, but he gets out. Close call
Scouted
there
by
for
courier.
LeBron. Yeah, scouted by courier out of all things.
What?
Another illusion push.
Only one more neutral item to go. The Ex Machina is now on the Terror Blade. There's the upgrade over the Minotaur Horn that you want. Just use your BKB a second time.
Yep, agreed. Another blink, another BKB. Might just be the factor. Might just be what they really need.
Oh, they
That's,
got DNZ.
Radiant's courier has been
but yeah, still
Back?
one item to
No.
go. DNZ TP's out again. Can't catch him there. Can't catch him this time. but
Fast and
definitely,
furious.
definitely now we're finally starting to see some kind of engagement on both sides. It's been almost 10 minutes of silence. There was a pretty easy Roshan pickup. No contest happening in between.
Like, Team Ball doing the correct thing here in trying to keep Spider-Pigz from getting these neutral items, but while you have that advantage, you also gotta press it. Because all that's happened right now is that we've waited 10 minutes, all of the buybacks are up, all of the neutral items have now finally been scrounged together, with LeBron just find a Stygian Desolator over on the side, and yeah, that one's going straight into the pocket of Noob. There is his final minus armor upgrade.
Desolator 2.
Well, between him and the Terrorblade, the damage, the physical damage is going to be massive.
Pablo.
Orc might have a lot of HP, but not even that much armor.
Yeah, not that much. And Koma, he's made this his home. Pretty much just standing here, but behind the Ancient, sending illusions out to war.
At last.
Another DD rune waiting at the river. Roshan. This is the first long Roshan, almost max timer as well. Shows 2 minutes for us, but it's already down a quarter.
Wonder at which point DNZ is going to start goading them again. I mean, it's not very polite to do. Everybody knows that they're in charge.
Yeah. They're testing out the Book of Shadows here. Trying it out on Noob there. Gets completely silenced, disarmed. But at least you can bait with an ally. You don't get hit by anything. Still playing the waiting game. Bald is continuing to increase their gold lead. 51,000 gold. 75k in experience. Can we break the 100k marker? Still a while to go. Bald. Can they find an opening? DNZ is pretty... I was about to say pretty far out of the base. Because Gorp is coming. There we go. We finally get some action going on as Phonic gets hit. DNZ half HP as well. We've got the sharpshooter out. Viper low on HP. Gorp does get affected by the Book of Shadows. Unable to target him for the time being. Viper gets the heal back up. Sharpshooter still on cooldown. Well, 15 seconds. Going to be up in just a moment. So no, nothing lost here on either side. Just a bit of testing the grounds. Still no fight.
Still no fight, yep. And Phonic, who was the easiest target up until now, does have himself a BKB. That's going to be quite a bit of survivability, especially versus the damage that, for example, this Hoodwink has been dealing to him. He's not going to go down that easily again.
Interesting overgrowth play. They're going to catch Rajix here with the tree tags. But it's not enough to catch him there. He's still going to make his way out. Distances are hard to close.
They are. I doubt Spider-Pigz is going to get out of their base to contest this roast, though. It would take significant resources and significant risk. And Koma, so far, has hugged his Ancient exactly as he should.
Yep. 2 last hits to 1,000. One more to 1,000. He's going to get it, but at the same time, they might lose their Viper. Pablo misses the sharpshooter on Phonic. Gets his BKB off, and he's losing life, but he's keeping himself alive as Koma gets the 1,000 last hit marker.
This feels like a Mega Creep situation, and it isn't even. This bottom Rax is still healthy.
Talking about healthy, yeah. Range Rax takes a few hits. Not that much. Tall Reborn with the smiley face is classic. And Roche is up. Roche number 6? 5 or 6? I'm losing count here.
I've lost count as well. I think it's 5.
I would like to say 5, but it might be 6. However, it's the same items over and over again.
It is, and they don't even have anybody to give his Aghanims to this time.
Nope.
Just, yeah, are you gonna leave that on the floor?
Cracks and insecurities in their own
No, I see. The Pablo actually sold the Aghanim that he bought, so now he gets.
Yeah, he's got an inventory slot. Yeah.
Very nice. Gets all the cheese.
Very nice, very nice. Loser sprays being spread around the base. All good there. There's a DD rune once again. To be picked up. I think That's something that the Morphling wants to grab.
He's been carrying around a bottle for the last 30 minutes. Exactly for this reason.
Smoked up once again. Can they get to the base this time? There's a whole lot of more trees planted down, more vision outside of this area. They see Excalibur. They see Gorp. Gorp goes in, looks for the blink. Pops his ulti. Noob in the middle of it. Huge crash almost there at the same time. Phonic. He holds it back. Eggman popped as well. The full commitment comes out. Drojix gets the jumper. Koma! The rapier on the ground. They took the TB away instantly. DNC dropping low. He's fallen as well. Another Viper coming in. Then Team Bold. They take the bot racks. They've taken Megas. They can just walk out now. They've got the rapier as well on the Morphling. Excalibur has a chance, and he's just going to go straight for the tier 4s. Hit a few times. Try to draw the attention. Another CK ulti. Toma's in the middle of it. He's getting caught, getting abyssal bladed once, maybe another time as well. Rogix with another stun on the backline with his ulti, and they will take down the Viper. Viper coming up the Viper. The ancient is open. The glyph is there though. The glyph might be enough to hold them back, but Rogix holding them away. They need to protect. They need to protect the ancient. They need to protect it. Morphling almost ending the game right here. Koma going in for a couple right clicks. Can he keep his ground? Can he stay alive? The Bushwhack connecting on 3, and Excalibur is gonna take DNC down. The ancient falls. 89,000 gold advantage for Team Bold as they end this game in 71 minutes, and we're going to a game number 3.
Holy crap. And
What a
ask
battle.
yourself, right? What a battle. And like everybody's sitting here asking themselves, like, did they really have to take that long? And the answer is yes, actually. Because the dream dies here. If you screw that one up, the dream is dead. No TI for you. Next year, you can watch it all from home.
Agreed.
Now the dream is alive.
Exactly. It was a long wait until the final fight finally broke loose. But the result was favoring Team Bold in the end. They get the better team fight at the end. It was just too much to deal with. Koma exploded at the start of that fight. Look at those abyssal blades. They've got 3 of them to make sure that TB gets nothing out during that fight. He blows up, rapier on the deck, Excalibur steals it. It's history from there.
It is history from there. I mean, we've had that same issue from 30 minutes onward, that the only thing standing between Team Bold and the victory was Koma. And Spider Pigs just, in the end, didn't have the tools to save them from the onslaught that was coming.
Just, I don't know, I have no words. This was a pretty interesting game for sure. Getting to see all those tier 5 items in the end, getting 1,000 last hits on this TB, 808 GPM. Pretty much everything was there except for the long wait. Team Bold had to assess the situation a lot. They didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. They took their time, and it paid off in the end for them. But that's game number 2, folks.
Game 2.
That's game 2. We have a third one coming up right after the break, so don't disappear anywhere. We'll be back soon.